Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Agajanana Padmarkam Gajananam Aharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe. Welcome to all for this session on Ganesha Purana to chapter 64, in which we are continuing to tell you about the speciality of the Durva grass. In the previous chapter, Kritavirya's father asked Brahma about the speciality of the Durva grass, for which Brahma was narrating the story of three people, Sulabha and his wife Samudra, and then Madhusudana, a Brahmin, and all three cursed each other, and they turned to become bull, donkey, and a Chandala woman. And then all three on a Bhadrapada Shukla Chaturthi day, for the fear of heavy rain, they took shelter in a Ganesha temple. And the Chandala woman, who was Samudra in her previous life, she brought the bunch of Durva grass to put a fire so that she can warm up herself. But the air blew some Durva grass and they went and fell on Gajanana's head. And then that bull and the donkey, while they were fighting with each other for eating the Durva grass, some grass fall from their mouth onto the feet of Gajanana. And with that, the Gajanana was pleased and sent them his vehicle along with the people so that they will be brought to the Ganesha Loka. On seeing this, the yogis who were somewhere near the Ganesha temple, they were wondering how come these three people who had not done anything that is meritorious, they were invited by Gajanana to his Loka while they are performing several austerities, but they are not visited by any of the gods so far. Then the hosts who came along with that aerial vehicle from the Ganesha Loka, they told them, O yogis, when you have stilled your wandering minds, listen to this which neither Brahma nor Shesha can describe. We will describe it as far as we can, insofar as anyone can really describe it. Shiva and the gods are constantly performing a eulogy to him, but really who can adequately describe Gananatha's majesty or do the same concerning his divine sport? Nonetheless, listen, O faultless men. The power of blades of Durva grass is unknown to sages, and gods, and cannot be gained by sacrifices or the yagnas or the gifts, the danas, austerities, or the vratas, or even the fire sacrifices. But there recite this ancient tradition about it, taken from a conversation between Indra, the chief of Vasus, and the great Narada. So they started telling the story that happened between Narada and the Indra. Once Narada eagerly went to visit Indra, and after the sage had been given a seat and honored with deep devotion, Indra asked him respectfully about the Durvamahatmya, the speciality of the Durva grass. Then Indra told him, Indra asked it this way, why is the great Ganesha, the god of gods, so especially fond of large blade of Durva grass, O Brahmin, divine sage? Then the sage Narada told him, I will relate the excellent Durvamahatmya just as it is known to me. In a city called Sthavara, there was once a great sage named Kaundinya who possessed strength through his austerities and was a worshipper of Ganesha. His delightful hermitage was located in the southern part of the village, and it was large, full of trees and creepers, as well as very large ponds which were frequented by bees, geese, and wild duck. and in which there were full-blown lotuses as well as chakravaka ducks, cranes, white water lilies, and waterfowl. But there he devoted himself to meditation and undertook a massive austerity. After placing himself before a large, very pleasant, four-armed image of Ganesha, which gave excellent boons and was worshipped with Durva Grass, he recited the superlative mantra which has 6 syllables and satisfied the gods. But filled with doubts, his wife, that means Kaundinya's wife named Ashraya, she questioned her husband Kaundinya, O Lord, why are you offering a load of Durva grass each day to the god Gajanana? No one is satisfied by grass. If there really is a merit in it, please kindly tell me so. Then Kaundinya told her, Listen, O beloved wife, and I will tell you the excellent Durvamahatmya. Once there was an excellent festival in the city of Dharma. All the gods with the heavenly musicians and the hosts of nymphs as well as the perfected sages, wanderers, snakes, yakshas and rakshasas were invited for that. While Tilottama was dancing, her upper garment fell onto the ground, and Yama saw her two large and lovely breasts. Deranged and tormented with lust, he then shamelessly sought to embrace her and kissed her on the face. His face lowered in shame, Yama departed from that place of assembly. But as he was leaving, his dripping semen spilt on to the ground. It became garlanded with flames, and a man with a deformed face appeared from that semen, terrifying the triple world with a pitiless howl. He made through his fangs, and touching the sky with his matted hair, he scorched the entire earth, and his noise utterly shook the triple world's pride. Then all those who were seated in the assembly hall went to see Vishnu, and once they had performed a hymn of praise in a variety of ways with various eulogies as seemed appropriate, they calmly petitioned him for the good of all beings. Vishnu went with them to the salubrious Gajanana, and after learning from him how the man would be destroyed, they all eulogized him. The gods and the sages said, Obeisance to the one whose real appearance is the obstacle. Obeisance to you who removes obstacles. Obeisance to you, the form of everything. Let there be obeisance to you, the witness of everything. Obeisance to the God who is great. Obeisance to you, the origin of the universe. Obeisance to you, the ocean of compassion, the cause of preservation of the universe. Obeisance to you, accomplished in austerity, the cause of destruction of the universe. Obeisance to you, the giver of boons to your devotees. Obeisance, obeisance to him who gives to everybody. Obeisance to you, fulfiller of all wishes for those of whom you are the sole refuge. Obeisance to you, the knower of the Vedas. Obeisance to you, the cause of Vedas. To whom else can we go for refuge? Can anyone remove our fear? How could the cosmic destruction have occurred for these people at the wrong time? O Gajanana, Lord of Lords, O perpetual remover of obstacles, now that death has come, are you going to disregard all of us? After he had heard this speech of gods, Gajanana, the ocean of compassion, manifested himself in front of them in the form of a child, thus removing the friend's apprehension. His face had the light of 100 moons, and he had two lotus eyes. His hairnet was bright as a myriad of suns, and his body surpassed that of myriad of Kama. His teeth surpassed the splendor of jasmine, his lips surpassed the color of bimba fruit, and he had prominent nose and contracted eyebrows, lovely eyes and folds on his neck. His chest was broad, his two arms were touching his knees, and he was powerful with his belly and its deep navel glistening and his lips glistening brightly too. His heavy thighs joined to his beautiful knees were vying with the splendor of plantain trunks. He had splendid ankles, very lovely shanks, and his glittering feet were like lotuses, opulent with a variety of splendid ornaments. He was clothed in garments of great value. Straight after they had seen the god like this on the ground in front of the city, the gods and sages arose, making the sound of victory, and bowed prostrate on the ground just like the host of gods to Indra. The gods and sages asked him, "Who are you? Where have you come from? And what are you doing? Tell us everything. We believe this truly to be Brahma in the form of a boy who has manifested himself here as the cause of evil's destruction, to save us who have assembled here after giving up our activities because we are frightened of the demonic fire." After he had heard their speech, Gajanana, his form that of a child, addressed all the gods and sages with a smile on his face. "You are right. What you have said is quite true. I am here to kill this evil person who is harassing you. Willingly take the form of a boy. I have come here quickly. Go, gods and sages. I will tell you a way to kill him, and you must do it, O faultless gods. Now that you have seen him, vigorously direct me to him, and then watch out for something of the greatest interest relating to him and me." After hearing this kindly statement, they were full of joy and said to each other, "We do not know his strength. He must have descended to save the triple world which is being harassed. But can the Lord who appears to be a boy really can kill such a big demon?" Still, after speaking in this manner, they all bowed respectfully to him. At that very moment, however, the man returned to the world of men in his real appearance as the destructive fire, burning and destroying in every direction. The weeping people made a tremendous noise, and the sages who were intent upon flight, straight after they had seen him, went to the young boy and said to him, "Prepare to flee quickly. If he were now to swallow us, and you just as a huge fish does with a small fish, and as Garuda with snakes, this huge fire would become permanent." After he had heard their speech, Gajanana, the highest self, assumed a mighty form and stood like Mount Himavat. But the divine sages went far away, leaving just that boy Gajanana there. Thus ends the 64th chapter of Upasana Khanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana, in which we were hearing a story told by Kaundinya to his wife Ashreya. And in that story, he was telling about how once in a assembly in a city of Dharma, there was an assembly of all the gods, wanderers, snakes, sages, yakshas, and rakshasas. In between them, Tilottama was dancing, and while she was dancing, her upper garment fell to the ground, and Yama saw her uh, large, lovely breasts and shamelessly moved forward to move forward towards her, and at that time his semen spilt onto the ground, and from that semen of Yama arose a big, huge, wicked man who was almost trying to destroy the triple world. And then all the gods and sages they went to Vishnu asking him to somehow kill that demon. But Vishnu took them to Gajanana, and they all eulogized Gajanana to kill that demon. And then Gajanana took the shape of a small boy and appeared before them and assured them that he will go in to kill the demon. But the sages and the gods, being unsure of whether this boy will be capable of killing such a huge demonic fire, they all ran away from the spot. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.